Losing a parent is one of the most difficult experiences you can have. It takes time and work to heal from that sort of loss. And it's been almost 10 years since I lost my dad to cancer. I'd like to share 7 lessons I've learned from losing a parent. Maybe hearing these will help you in your process or might help you have a better relationship with the parents you still have around. Hey everyone, I'm Andrew, and for the lessons I'll mention in today's video, I'm going to leave links in the description to help you implement them in your life. The first lesson I learned from losing a parent has been that it's so important to listen to the stories your parents want to share with you, to ask them about their life and their life before they became your parent. I think it's really easy to forget that our parents had their own lives before they were our parent, and before they were dedicating so much of their lives to raising us as their kids. And I've seen that doing this really lifts that veil we can have with our parents, because it's so easy to see our parents from the perspective of a daughter or a son, and not just as another human being that has had their own adventures, their own romances, their own insecurities, their successes and failures. That they've just been trying to do their best the same way we are. And it's helped because when we can see them without that filter, without that lens, as more than just the role that they're playing in our lives, you find that it's easier to feel compassion and it's easier to be more understanding. The next lesson I learned is to consciously create memories with your parents. Do things with them that you find meaningful, things that you can look back on and smile about. Take a trip somewhere, go out to dinner together. Do whatever it is that makes you feel like you're having a special moment with them. I've found that the trips we've done together, the movies we've watched together, the meals spent together, have given me an abundance of memories that I now keep close. These memories and the artifacts from those memories, like the music that was playing, the smells in the air, and the other small details, have also helped me heal, because you can put those details into rituals, which is part of the next lesson. I've also learned that rituals can help a lot. You might have one from a tradition in your culture or religion. You can use those, or you can create your own. And rituals are essentially actions that you do in a purposeful way that symbolize more than the actions themselves. These rituals can look like many things. They can look like anything you want them to look like. It can be visiting the burial site, carrying something special that reminds you of your parent, planting a tree or flowers in their honor, or lighting a candle for them on a special day. For me, I've used 2 rituals. Before my dad died, he wanted to let me know a way that he would communicate with me. He said that if I ever saw this one specific butterfly, it meant that he was around. And I still see that butterfly every so often today, and it's been almost 10 years. I've also used the artifacts from memories, specifically music. I play music that reminds me of him. Music that used to play in the car or at home, and I'll just be in that space every once in a while when I feel like I need it. And I've also found that opening and closing these rituals helps, because it marks a beginning and end for the process, and that makes it feel special and sacred. And it also gives you some structure and order in a time that might feel really chaotic. Like I said before, I'm leaving links in the description box that can help you create a ritual of your own if you don't already have one. I've also learned that after our parents pass, you can actually build a new relationship with them, even though they're gone. You can write letters to them, talk to them out loud, talk to them in your head. You actually find that in some ways you gain certain parts of the relationship that you didn't have when they were here. Sometimes the relationship can feel even deeper. For example, when my dad was here, I didn't feel like I could share the emotional part of my life with him. But now that he's passed, I share those things with him. It doesn't matter that I don't hear a response or get the same kind of feedback I would have if he was alive, but I still have that relationship and connection with him. Another thing I've learned is that life gets divided into a before and after. I've noticed that myself and others use that language to talk about our lives. We say before dad died, before mom died, and after mom died, after dad died. And the event becomes a marker in our lives. And it's true that life isn't the same after such a significant loss. And I think it takes time to come to grips with the after part. Things really aren't the same anymore. We have to find a new rhythm, a new way of life. And depending on what age you experience the loss, it'll also change the way you experience life post-parents' death. For many people, parents can be like our pillars. They're our support. They're the thing we've known our whole life to always be there. And then suddenly, they're not. So life might look really different afterwards. So accept that there's a before and after to this. Find any way to give yourself the space to grieve. And know that it'll take a little bit of time for you to find your new rhythm. The next thing I learned is that we need to talk about death and the process of dying more. It's something that's gonna happen to all of us, but I think we're afraid to talk about it because it seems like we'll attract it faster into our lives by even just mentioning it and talking about it. But it's important to discuss the logistical and emotional parts of death. Things like, what do you want to happen to your body after you die? Do you want to be buried? Do you want to be cremated? What do you want to happen to the ashes? Where are the important documents? It's better to have those conversations before there's a crisis moment, when you and everyone else is calm and can think through any decisions you have to make. This also leads me to my final lesson, which is to get support. Talk to people you trust, those that can listen to you and support you in the ways you need. And many times that might not be the friends or family you have around you. They're going through their own process of coping and grieving, so you might have to seek outside help like therapy. And if you have any inhibitions about therapy, going through a loss is the perfect time to let that go and seek out support. You can even look for therapists that specialize in bereavement and loss. There are also support groups that specialize in bereavement and loss. Getting through the loss of a parent is something that takes time, and you'll probably go through different phases for a long time. I know that it took me several years to go through the different phases of grieving, and I'm sure there will still be more stuff that comes up in the future. So make sure you get help. There's also a model for the stages of grief, and that can be helpful for some people to know where they might be in the process or where they might need some extra support. This tool was helpful for me, but the tool isn't linear. You don't have to go through each stage one by one. You might skip around stages, and knowing about this model might help you in your process. So that's it for the lessons that I learned from losing a parent. I hope they help you if your parent is still here or if you're going through the process of loss. I wish you the best, and I'll see you next time. Bye.